It's an old boys club, primarily. Singapore managed to secure the line out. Here it comes to Fami. He's got Hanafi inside him and Brian Ng on the outside. We saw a Spencer this morning from Singapore by the name of Jailani. He's not on at the moment, but he got the 2 tries for Singapore against the Philippines. Mark Cheong from the SCC.
Well, we'll see how long the Japanese team's going to take to get themselves settled in there, Mike.
I'm sure they'll be looking just to build it up slowly over the weekend. It's Harada who takes it away. Oh, he shows some speed too for a little fella. And away he goes inside the 22 and just glides to the try line. Outstanding break from Harada from the scrum. And, well, it didn't take long. That was your answer, Dino.
Well, there you go. It's totally the opposite of what Singapore was going to be doing. Slowed things down, but Japanese penalty time, we're out of here.
Takiro Harada. He's another new face we haven't seen this year on the tour.
Well, just looking at the management, I mean, the Japanese have come for a purpose, and I think they've even trained 3 or 4 of their support staff. So I think, yeah, they mean business. So they've got a lot of depth in Japan.
Off the post.
Current score, Japan 5, Singapore 0.
Good kick-off there with Japan competing under the high ball, but they've knocked it on by the looks. Interesting to see Lemeki playing in the forwards for this game. We saw him a lot at standoff without Sakai in the last tournament. He played at standoff, and also they used Suzuki a lot, who's not on the field at the moment. And the other new man we see is Sugaya on the wing here, number 8, who's closing in defence. And I'm sure he's got a bit of speed. That's one thing they were lacking, the gas man in KL. And Sugaya covers Brian in well and truly.
It's not a bad option. Got him out of the trouble zone and straight into the half of the Japanese. Put pressure back onto them.
Brian in from Singapore Cricket Club, of course, home of one of the other famous Sevens tournaments in the Asian region. And look who's just popped by. It's the tournament director, Izzy Karea, up here in the commentary booth.
Well, if we wound back the clock a few years, Izzy Karea would have been playing for Singapore now. Line-out been taken in by Japan.
Here's Henry, who always has that little goose step that puts some doubt in the minds of the defenders, and he's decided to go all the way himself. Singapore defender tried his best, Hanafi, to tag him around the ankles, but Henry is another guy who showed up primarily off the bench in the KL leg, but today gets a start and makes the most of it. Originally from the Mount Roskill area in Auckland, Henry. Now plying his trade with a thing called the PSI cost cuts in Tokyo. Sakai doesn't make a mistake there with that one. 12 points to 0.
Yeah, you just noticed that the Singapore defenders just went slightly too high on Henry there and just shrugged him off. So here we go, kick off again. Great take by the Japanese.
Yes, and he got just slightly tackled mid-air there, so they were playing advantage, but that doesn't matter. Lemeki, who's one of the series top scorers, adds to his total with a try. I think we might see a yellow card for that tackle in the air there for the Singapore player as well, which will add more misery to their campaign. So Lemeki in the KL leg scored 34 points with 6 tries and was player of the tournament, and just showing why he's such a special player there. Sakai's in the groove with his kicking. Quickly moves out to 19 points to 0. As we just see the last stanza of that try, just running the outside break, too much pace. I want to see this guy Sagaya on the right wing here with the ball in hand. I suspect they've unearthed a fast guy. No need for him at present. They're making a lot of breaks in the midfield. Must be annoying for a coach like Inoki Afiake coming to a place like Singapore and just having to drill some of the basics into the guys.
Yeah, I think you can still see the improvement that Inoki has done over the last 6 or so months, and I think Singapore can take their head off, and they have been competitive in certain parts, but just need to be competitive for the whole, say, 14 minutes in a game of sevens. You can see Japan are trying to play this game at pace because, you know, every point counts as the later parts of the tournament, and points differential can be very valuable.
The wind has taken that one away from Jelani in the air as well. So here's Henry. Give it to Sagaya, please. I want to see how much pace this guy's got. Yeah, he puts the pedal down. The Singapore players matching him for a while, Hanafi, but he couldn't catch the flying Sagaya. And maybe Japan have found their gas man for this weekend, because that was one element they were lacking in KL, and it got them into a bit of strife in the last few phases of the tournament. Just scraping by Korea 15-7, then beating Hong Kong in the final, coming from behind 14-7. But maybe in this tournament they might have somebody to match the scorching pace of the Hong Kong Flyers. Yu Kum Shing and Thomas McQueen. So we'll take the conversion.
Well, you can notice a difference in the games we've seen early on there, Mike. The higher the level and the skill set is incredibly great. So they're using the ball very, very well.
Sakai's missed that one, but a dominant first half for the Japanese team. And Singapore, a lot to talk about at half-time. Coach Inoki just giving them a lowdown there about what they should be doing. Japan, they'll be cool, calm and collected. It's 24-zip at half-time. Oh, I thought there might be.
1 and 2 at swap.
So 1 and 2 swap?
Yep. And 4 and 9. Minute.
So Singapore restart the second half. A little bit of confusion there for the Japanese. Nakashima letting it bounce, so they're pinned inside their 22.
Player penalised off the ground, and Singapore, well, they're going to have a go. They've got nothing to lose.
Kumar gets it out wide. Here's Brian Ng, the captain, and glory for Ng. Well done. Singapore get themselves on the board with a lovely constructed try off a penalty.
Well done. That gives a lot of confidence for that Singapore team, considering the score here at half-time. And these are probably the small steps that Inoki Afiake has been doing over the last few months in Singapore itself. So, kick unsuccessful.
Well, Brian Ng is proving himself to be the try scorer for the Singapore team. Got himself 3 tries in KL, so that's his 4th of the series. And from memory, I think there was only one other try scored, so he's the man they go to when they need some tries. That's a great kickoff hanging in the breeze. Kevin Liu getting underneath it. Oh, they're causing a bit of trouble for the Japanese at kick returns. Restarts. That breeze they're kicking into is just holding the ball up and letting the Singapore players get underneath. It's not easy for Daryl Cheer to control. They've kicked wide and it's gone out in the full. So here's Japan's chance to attack from a set piece. And taken quickly, and Singapore get onto it very smartly. Well done. Kumar couldn't pick it up properly. We'll get a penalty.
Well read defensively from the Singapore teams with that Japan quick line-out throw. So now it's put them under so much pressure. And Singapore back on attack. So here we go, kicking for touch. Hopefully, good 5 meters out from the try line.
Kick from Fami. Again, they're just going to have to watch this throw, and that breeze is sneaks up on you. You can see the fluttering of the linesman's flag once we see this line-out throw, and that it's quite a strong breeze.
You'd want to be doing something sharp at the front, and he's read my mind.
Nice defence there from Matsunobu, though. But Japan have the penalty, and away they go quickly. It's Henry, who always fancies himself with ball in hand. This is Harada. In fact, it's Ito, who played in the first tournament. So that Japan attack finishes pretty promptly, and Japan yet to score in the second half. It's been a good effort from Singapore. Haven't put this one out though, Fami. Here's Ito. In fact, it's Harada. He manages to stay on his feet. He's still going. Good ground from Harada. Ito now at the base of the ruck. Here's Matsunobu, who's a very strong customer. In fact, it's Nakashima who's come on for Matsunobu. And he scores under the sticks. Shingo Nakashima. They've subbed quite a few players, Japan, in this game already, but one player who's been a constant is the kicker there, Mr. Sakai, who really is one of their leaders. Oh, that's lovely take in the air from Nakashima, who just scored a try a moment ago. Shokai holds it up and gives it to Sakai. Matsunobu this time. Manages to squeeze it between his knees. Sakai, and there's an offside player there from Singapore. He was almost shaking hands with the Japanese player before he got it. Sakai again takes it quickly. Here's Shokai, who gets it to a very easy run into Ito. So suddenly the floodgates open. Singapore were doing well there the first 4 minutes of the half, holding Japan back and getting a try of their own, but tables have turned through Ito.
You can definitely see the total two different changes of the plays this afternoon. When it was very wet underfoot, there was a lot more contact, and that was including the men's and the ladies itself. So now it's dry foot to the teams, especially to Japan. I think a lot of teams could take note. That's very doable.
So the score blows out to 38 points to 5. We've got some mouth-watering clashes coming up in the next couple of days. Oh, that's a beautiful run from Harada. He's got some pace. He was the man who scored their first try off the base of the scrum. Startling acceleration.
Exactly, yeah. Just a nice little step on the inside defence. Just didn't get across quick enough to cover and accelerated away.
Must be those pink boots, Dino. Should have tried those when we were playing.
We might have to get a team issue next week, I think.
So that's the end of the game. Sakai gets his 5th conversion of the match, so he's already into double figures from the boot. And a pretty good victory for Japan. Singapore held them at stages and showed some shafts of light, but you can just see there from the team lineups, too big, too fast, too strong, Japan. So just confirmation of the final score. Pool A, Japan 45, Singapore 5.